in the ear. Somebody's telling me they cannot read the images. So let me try and see if it is my... Okay, let's see. Can you read them when they're like that? So now I'm going to start with this particular season here. And look very well, look. Look at these images very well. So this is March. But then there's something I want you to look even before I start even this March thing. I want you to look at the breast, the breast of a set. That is where the key is. The breast of a set. Somebody saying it's blank. We will make it work, don't worry. Now look at the breast of a set. That is where the T is. Her breast here, it is this side. And then when you come here, it is her left, this breast. And then you come down here, it is this breast. I want you to focus on the breast now of a set. It is this breast. So when we see a set, we are always seeing a set feeding Heru, her breast. Most of the time when we see a set feeding Heru what? Boobs. And what have I told you about breast before, the breast of a woman before? Because that is going to apply here very well, very well. Even before I go there, before I go on that other side, I want us to finish it here. So the left breast is intuition, and then the right breast is memory. So that is the same thing that is going to apply here. Yeah, storage of what? Intuition and storage of what? Knowledge of intuition and memory. Like harvest. The breast. Okay, maybe I just go on. Guys, me, I have all the time in the world. And I'm going to take my time to show you everything so that you can see what we exactly are talking about. So when we talk about this breast part, I don't know whether this is where I put the breast. No, it's not this one. I think it's the muscular system. Yeah. So this is what I want you to see. You see, this is where the philosophy of the breast comes from. So listen to me very well. When you harvest, you know this image. I've already told you this image is made up of 12 different vertebrae. Now this is 12 different vertebrae. They branch off 12 on one side, on the right side, 12 on the left side. Now, the memory of how your ancestors lived their 12 hours a day and 12 hours a night is what is stored on the boobs. On the left boobs, it is stored infinitely. How your ancestors lived their 24 hours infinitely. That information is stored on the left breast. Now, how your ancestors lived their 24 hours temporarily, like through your temporary consciousness. That is the information that is stored on your right boob. Yes. Can you see where that definition is coming from? Don't just go tell somebody that, oh, she just came up, she just made it up. She just made it up that your left breast is information. When you feed it to your child, is information. This is where that information is coming from. How you spend your 12 hours a day and how you spend your 12 hours a night. 12 hours a night is infinite information. It will be stored on the left boob. 12 hours a day is temporary information. It is stored on the right boob. What does it mean when your left boob is smaller than your right boob? Your intuition, the way your ancestors spent their night, their time alone. Remember, night alone. Anytime somebody says night or darkness, it is time alone. The way your ancestors spent their time alone was not efficient. It was not balanced to the way they spent their time with public. So your right breast means that your ancestors were very social. They were mostly outside than they were inside. Anybody else who's still lost up to here? Because I want this information is very important. Now, after you've gotten the concept of where the boobs come from, so now we are going to go back into our class. So now, look, assess breasts is what tells you even how to read this particular table. So pay attention to assess breasts. That is what I want you to pay attention to the most. Because that is what the secret, that is where the secret starts. So here, let's start with this part. Let's start with this part because let me zoom it because you guys cannot see. Can you see? Now look at assets in March. March stands for authenticity. March stands for authenticity. And then look at assets in June. June stands for feelings. Look at assets in September. Before we go down here, look at assets in September. Her breast is on that side. In June, her breast is on this side. In March, her breast is facing this side. Can you see it? Can you see where her breasts are facing? Okay. Because that is a lot. So now, this Dendera zodiac talks about Aset being the one to empower the Heru. So, Heru stands for January and February. Let's start it in January and February. Heru is the one that operates in January and February. What is Heru? Self-belief. Self-belief operates in your self-knowledge. Self-belief is the one that carries your self-knowledge. Your self-belief is the one that, when it comes to Pisces, it is your self-belief twice. Because Pisces now is your ability to enter into the infinite, to connect yourself to the infinite, to the unseen. So, Heru is the one that runs January and February. But then Heru running January and February, they see January is feeding on Capricorn's right breast. This is right breast, this is left breast. So please, kindly see, let's start from here first of all. This is right breast and this is left breast and they are facing the renewal season. And then when you come to the planting season, there is no breast facing, there is no breast. So I want you to notice that. During the renewal season, January and February, January is feeding on memories of December. So you see that your self-belief feeds on memories of your self-usage. Your self-knowledge feeds on memories of your self-usage. Your self-knowledge feeds on memories of your self-usage. While your self-belief feeds on intuition of your authenticity. Your self-belief, when I told you about intuition and memory, I told you intuition comes from infinite, wishful thinking. Wishful thinking. As a woman, your wishful thinking is like intuition. Your deluluness is like intuition. While your memory what you've lived. And most of the time it comes from what you've memorized, the reality, logical thinking. So now, your self-knowledge feeds on the logics of your self-usage. Your self-knowledge here. Remember, these are two rules. Let me put it here so that you can see. Your self-knowledge, this is Aquarius and this is Pisces. This is Aquarius and this is Pisces. Your self-knowledge feeds on the logic of your self-usage. So in order for you to know yourself, you must feed on the logic of your self-usage. You must be logical about how you use yourself. Now, your self-belief feeds on the intuition, the luminous of your authenticity. So now when it comes to your self-belief, it feeds on the intuition of your authenticity. Meaning your self-belief should always be a delusional kind of thing, an intuitive kind of thing. But your self-knowledge should always be a logical kind of thing. You be very logical with your self-knowledge, and you should be very delusional with your self-belief. Like, don't wish for the unknown, the unseen, when it comes to your self-belief. Now, I'm going to proceed and I'm going to continue to explain it all, and then I'll come back to see if it makes sense to you. Let's go now to March, the planting season. Planting season does not need any breastfeeding. Meaning Taurus and Gemini. Your self-support does not need anything from your intuition. So this is the reason why your self-support should always happen even when you don't feel like it. Show up every day even if you don't feel like it. Be consistent even with the times that you don't feel like it. Because self-support is raw. And that is also self-thinking. Your thoughts should also never be swayed by your feelings or anything. Guys, up to that particular point, are you at least getting something? Because when you live with this particular Dendera timetable, then you will know what to do at any time. Yes, some people, they cannot support themselves because they are banking on their authenticity. Some people, they cannot think for themselves because they are banking on their feelings. Wrong! When it comes to thinking for yourself and supporting yourself, no breastfeeding. You see things the way they are when you think for yourself without any breastfeeding from anywhere. Now comprehend the planting season. Planting season does not need any breastfeeding. Planting season is go, 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 go according to reality. Go, go, go according to reality. But then when it comes to renewal season has help. Your self-knowledge should always lean on the memories and the logic of your self-usage. And then your self-belief should always lean on the intuition of your authenticity. We've dealt with the renewal season, the planting season. Now let's go to the harvest. Harvest season has Cancer. With it, because these are the opposites. Cancer now has its right breast outside, while Libra has now its left. Libra has now its left. That feeds Leo. Your self-love should come from the logic of your feelings. Your love, your ability to love should come from the logic of your feelings. Remember, this is right breast, this is left breast. This is left breast, this is right breast. Please don't mix them up. If you mix them up, you miss. And guys, mixing up of this thing is the reason, is how people get controlled. When it comes to your self-love should come from the logic of from the memory of your feelings. How you memorize your feelings. And when you do this even with the people who don't deserve to be in your life, you will never fall as victim of manipulation or narcissism. As long as love for you comes from the memory, the logicness of your feelings. So remember, this Cancer, the feelings. What is feelings? You are alone. How you are alone. How you feel when you are alone. Those memories is what should be fulfilling on your love, on your ability to love anyone and yourself. And then we go to Virgo. Self-analysis is fed by what? Intuitions of self-balance. Now it is your self-balance that should be breastfeeding intuitively. You are intuitive. How you balance yourself intuitively is how you should automatically, that is where you should be fetching energy that goes into your self-analysis. And then, that is what it brings forth the harvest season. Harvest season is brought about by memories of feelings that form love, and intuition of balance that form analysis. That is what brings harvest. And then now we have storage. Doesn't need anything. Doesn't need to feed on anything. Scorpio does not need to feed on anything. Your ability to be your essence, to embody your essence, doesn't need to feed on anything. Your ability to embody your essence doesn't need to feed on anything. You should always see anybody that is born anywhere, whether you're born rich or poor, your self-desire should always be intact. And because self-desire is always intact, and that is the reason why you find some people are born in poverty, but their self-desire, they're still very beautiful looking, they're still very attractive. So your attractiveness should never breastfeed on anything, should only be backed with by reality. And then you have your ability to explore, your ability to travel. Your ability to travel should also never feed on anything. You just go. So up to that particular point, when you look at this entire table, it is talking about the 12, how to live through the 12 months. Which will start from March into the planting season. Now planting season is an independent corner. This is a dependent corner. Independent corner, dependent corner. Up to that point, are we somewhere with somebody? And when I taught you guys about intuition and memory, you are going to have to memorize that. The part that needs to be fed intuition, which is this Pisces and Virgo. Pisces and Virgo, remember they are even opposite each other. Pisces and Virgo, they need to be fed intuition. What does that mean? Pisces, intuition from your authenticity. That is what should bring you your self-belief. And dancers know how to embody this so much. In order for your body to dance, your intuition your authenticity must be willing to communicate to your self-belief through intuition. That is what makes good dancers, especially dancers that can choreograph movements. They depend on their intuition. This is a rule here. Feeding on the left side of the breast of authenticity. So that is on default. Left breast is involuntary. Right breast is voluntary. So that is the reason why Capricorn here feeds Aquarius voluntarily. Voluntary. So Capricorn, your self-belief, your self-knowledge should feed on the memories, the voluntary or the logical memories of your self-usage. So don't just think that, you can just know yourself out of intuition or whatever. You must utilize, you must be able to utilize yourself in order for you. Your self-usage is what will prove to you your self-knowledge. Your self-usage is what should always prove to you your self-knowledge. And then your authenticity should always guide your self-belief. Your authenticity should always guide your self-belief. Now when we come here, your self-feelings, your self-feelings should always come before your self-love. How you feel, the memories of how you felt is what should drive your self-love. The memories of how you feel should always drive your self-love. The memories of how you feel when you're alone should always drive your decisions in love. And then the intuition of your balance your balance, how you balance yourself, your ability to distribute energy is what should control your self-analysis. Your ability to distribute energy intuitively on default is what controls your self-analysis, is what feeds your self-analysis. So this here is a simple instruction of how you move through the season, through the entire year. When you come to Gemini and Taurus, those are standalones. Scorpio and Sagittarius, those are standalone. While Aquarius and Pisces are supported, Leo and Virgo are also breastfed. Up to that point, any questions, please? It is a new thing we are doing for the first time, so kindly just know that this is what it is. If you want to believe in yourself, just be authentic. If you want to know yourself, use yourself. And then supporting yourself is something you do. You must push yourself to do. Thinking for yourself is something you must push yourself to do. And then loving yourself comes from you feeling. Analyzing is supported by you balancing. While you desire, being attractive or desiring is totally independent. And you adventuring is totally things that you need to push yourself to do. These are things you must push yourself to do even when you don't want to. Adventuring, you must. Desiring, you must. When you stop desiring, you stop being creative. Thinking for yourself, you must. Supporting yourself, you must. But then when it comes to loving yourself, look at how you feel. When it comes to, look at the memories of how you feel. When it comes to analyzing yourself, look at how you balance. Look at how you distribute energy. When it comes to you believing in yourself, be authentic. When it comes to you knowing yourself, be useful to yourself. When it comes to you knowing yourself, be useful to yourself. Is it inside? Guys, has this thing located you? I know it's overwhelming. I know it can be overwhelming, it can be, but it has to get in. Now when you do this, then you achieve this on the inside. When you mix hours of the day plus the authenticity, hours of the day plus the authenticity, hours of the day plus the authenticity, you achieve this. Before I move into something else, are we walking together? Somebody say it makes a lot. Thank you very much, my dear. I want it to make a lot of sense so that you can start utilizing. Whenever you are confused, maybe you're like, oh my God, do I need to be authentic in order to support in order to show up? Remember, Taurus is all about showing up in the 7 days. You don't need to breastfeed anywhere to show up in the 7 days. You don't need to breastfeed anywhere to think for yourself. You don't need to breastfeed anywhere to be attractive. You don't need to breastfeed anywhere to be adventurous. But you need to breastfeed on your feelings when you in actions of love. You need to breastfeed in the memories of your feelings in actions of love. You need to breastfeed in your balance, in the intuition of your balance when it comes to you self-analyzing. You need to breastfeed in the memories of your selfness in order for you to know yourself. You need to breastfeed in the intuition of your authenticity for you to believe in yourself. Up to that point, please, I'm open for questions. I'm trying to drag this thing into place and it's not going. Why? Bruh. Yeah. So guys, up to that particular point, I wanted to teach you this Dendera Zodiac. They call it the Dendera Zodiac or whatever, but I don't want to call it that. I just want to introduce you to this particular image so that you can, somebody is still processing. Sawa, you take your time to process. Anyone with a question? Must we pay attention to the specific zodiacs if we are working? Does that question have anything to do with this? With what I'm teaching here? Because I don't know how to answer it with regards to what I'm teaching. Oh, okay, yeah, you can. You should pay attention. Every hour you should pay attention. Every time you should pay attention. Any question, guys, with regards to what I've taught? Any question with regards to what I've taught, please? You know, when you ask question is when I know that you've understood. If there's no question, then probably I need to prepare to teach it again. Oh, thank you guys so much for the gift. And where are you so beautiful? Where have you comprehended? Are you trying to distract me, Wanyana? Wanyana, ask a question. Ask a question. Teach it again, I'm sorry. Oh my God, I can tell me even one person has comprehended what I've taught. Tell me, at the center is emotions. No, the center is Asar, Taurus. The center is like what you get. I say the body plus the day is equal to the great year. The body, these are the body, plus the day is equal to great year. Lavender has got it. Can you give example of harvest in harvest season? Let's go back. So somebody is asking me to give examples of harvest in harvest season. So in Cancer, what are we harvesting? Throughout the year we harvest, what we are harvesting is love. What is God? God is love. So the things that we are harvesting are self-love. That is why it's even Leo here is the heart. It marks that it is the embodiment. Leo is the embodiment of harvest. So it's this self-love, and then Virgo is now distribution of that self-love. When you start distributing now, you remember Virgo is the stomach where the food gets to be. Now the food, when you harvest, like for example, let's say my dear, you harvested maize. When you harvest maize, you have to remove the chaff and save the maize. Like when you harvest, like let's say, you have to, the wheat, you have to separate the wheat from the chaff. So Virgo is the representation of that separation of the wheat from the chaff. After you harvested, now separation of what you've harvested from the dirt. does that. Virgo separates the dirt out so that the dirt is removed and you remain only with the useful. And that ability to separate the wheat from the chaff and for you to remain only with good that can benefit your body, you should get inspiration or energy from the intuition of your self-balance. Your self-balance now knows how you usually distribute energy. Because remember, the pelvic area is all about balance. It is the memory of energy distribution. Your ability to distribute energy. Remember, guys, when it comes to balance here, what is balance? For example, if you ride a bicycle, or if you ride a motorcycle, or if you skate, or if you maybe a car. I don't drive cars, so I don't know if cars require balance. But when you ride a motorcycle or a bicycle, or if you skate, you require balance. Now that ability to balance, it comes from your ability to analyze. Your ability to know that, oh, if I stand like this, it's good for me. If I stand like this, it's good for me. So now that analysis, and also you know obstacle. Analysis is also about knowing your environment, being aware of your environment, what is harmful to you, what is not harmful to you. Evading the obstacles. And then that creates balance. So balance is stored. Balance is storage for your analysis. The same way intuition is storage for your self-belief. Intuition is storage, infinite storage for your self-belief. Balance is infinite storage for your self-analysis. And then your feelings are a reminder to your self-love, while your self-use is a reminder to your self-knowledge. So let's say the ones that are feeling left, right breast, they are reminders. So Capricorn reminds Aquarius, while Cancer reminds Leo. Your self-feelings reminds your self-love how to behave, while your self-usage reminds your self-knowledge how to behave. Your self-authenticity store infinite information for your self-belief, while your self-balance store infinite information for your self-analysis. Are we getting somewhere? Are you seeing how our ancestors were not foolish? These are things that our ancestors were born and were taught at kindergarten level. They were painted everywhere, writings on the walls the same way. You go to Rome or you go to France and you find them every street as sculptures. In ancient Africa, this was everywhere. Everywhere. Even little children knew what this was. Now, are you seeing the level of ancestors? Those who are still disrespectful. You see how difficult it is, not easy to comprehend. You see how it is not easy. Would you have survived in ancient Africa with the brain that we have now? Do you think we would have survived? You go back in time and they'll look at you like a lost snowflake in the sea. Because our ancestors were advanced beyond. We are now just scratching the surface. Yeah, we are just scratching. These are the knowledge that they had off head. In fact, it reached points where this knowledge did not need to be taught. It was intrinsic. Everyone was born knowing. Yeah, they were very advanced, you can't even comprehend the level of advancement. If I was to start explaining, people would isolate me and people would laugh at me. If I was to start explaining the level of advancement that our ancestors had, people would just laugh at me the way they call us hotep and they laugh that we are talking nonsense. That is how people would react. So it's not time yet to reveal. Even Africans themselves will laugh and say that one is the Lulu, that one lives in their own world. So the level of advancement our ancestors had, some people cannot comprehend. Most of our population cannot even begin to comprehend. the level of advancement. But now, I hope that you're comprehending this table because it will save your life. Somebody saying, we're glad we found you. No, be glad that you are even able, be glad for yourself. Be glad that you are able to rise to a certain vibration, that you are able to comprehend what I'm speaking about. You are thanking the wrong person. You are thanking the wrong person because there's no me without you. Without your ability to comprehend, there is no me, I don't exist. So every time you are looking for somebody to thank yourself that please, thank you very much, Lady Viking, for waking up to be able to comprehend this when this girl is talking about it. I am not the only one to talk about this. There are timelines behind where people like me were talking about this, but nobody could listen because it was like somebody speaking Arabic in South Africa. So don't thank me. Thank yourself. My job is to thank myself for existing in a timeline where you are alive. Thank you very much for being alive. Now, can I move on from this before I fry brains? What does it mean to talk to a lion in a dream? A lion is confidence. Wild confidence. Yes, thank you, Wanyana, for waking up. Thanks, sweetie, for reminding me. Lion is all about confidence, guys. When you dream about lion things, you need to be confident. You need to be confident. You need to be confident, or if you dream speaking to a lion, probably you need to speak up confidently. Can I move on from this? Is there a specific meaning to Aquarius? Honor, there is nothing special. Let me just tell you something, Aquastelian. There is nothing special about the person you're with and their zodiac sign. The only thing special there is if you are an Aquarius and a Taurus is in your life, then it's probably you need to support your self-knowledge more. Or if your partner is a Taurus and you as an Aquarius, you are in their life, then probably they need, that Taurus needs to know their self-support more. There's nothing special about, oh, now I'm dating a Leo. Nothing special. The only special thing now is you to narrow down, I'm an Aquarius. A Taurus is in my life. I know myself, I've been brought as somebody who supports themselves. So what do I need to support in my life? Those are the things that you need to be questioning. Not that, oh, there were two Taurus and Aquarius that lived in the 12th century. Some people want me to tell them that, oh, there was a Taurus and Aquarius that lived in the 12th century and their relationship was the most divine. There's nothing like that. Please get yourself out of that syndrome of thinking that there is something that should be blowing up out of your relationship. Your relationship is for the two of you to help each other accordingly. And when you're full of the help, leave. When you know that, oh, now there is no other direction, leave. Some people, they start asking this question of, oh, can a Taurus and Aquarius? Every zodiac sign can be with every zodiac sign. Every zodiac sign can be with every zodiac sign. The relationship between every zodiac sign and every zodiac sign is special. Everyone is special. The sooner you get with the line, the better for you. Now you are not supposed to be focusing on the outside, you're supposed to be focusing now on with yourself. Don't see, some people, they miss the journey of spirituality or astrology because they want that, oh, I'm Leo. Now Leo is the most special person in the world. Now everybody else is in the shadow. Nobody is in the shadows. Nobody is in the shadow. Everybody sees the sun every day. Everyone, everything. The sun shines on everything every day, including you. You are just one of the things that the sun shines on. So take it like that, and then see that, oh, now in my environment, now I live here. I live now here in Zimbabwe, in this area. Now, how can I impact this particular area that I live in? How can I make this better? How can I make my house better? Start with yourself. If you want to be special, make yourself special to yourself. Yeah. Every human being is special here. And us existing all together is what makes the entire world special. Everyone being special is what will make the entire world being special, to be special. Don't dream about being special alone. Whenever you're being special, dream for others to be special too. Because spirituality is in numbers. When it's more of you that are special, now more special things are happening. But if it is just you who is special, then now you are in a desert. Nobody gives a fuck. So when you want to be special, pray for other chosen people to also be special. Pray for other chosen people to also win. The world is more interesting that way. The more authenticity, the better. The more people winning, the better. The more people with more spiritual powers, the better. The more people special, the better. We need more workers for the spirit realm. So don't be like, oh, me. There's nothing special about you as an individual. Kidole kimoja akivunji chawa. You as an individual, there's nothing special about you. No man is an island. Specialty now comes inside that quantum entanglement. That is what specialness comes from. As an individual, nothing is special about you, whether you are an Aquarius or a Capricorn or a what. As an individual, nothing is special. Know that. Ubuntu specialty is only in Ubuntu. So start seeing yourself as special and then know that you are not the only one who's special. Start seeing yourself as a creator, as God, but no, you are not the only one. There are others. And be open. Be open to interactions with those others. Be open to crossing paths with those others. That is where the beauty now comes in. Beauty is not in singular. Beauty is in the numbers. Especially spiritual beauty is in the numbers. Spiritual beauty is in the numbers. Spiritual beauty is in the numbers. Now I'm going to go to the roles of the 12 zodiacs as a way to finish today's teaching. This is a class that I taught. I've already taught this class before to some students, but when I taught it, there was some fracas. So I told them I would repeat it in TikTok class. So I hope that you guys are here. So when it comes to the 12 gods, I want to explain today what they are and, you know, their uses in the world. So when it comes to Pisces, I'm going to start with Heru. Heru, which is Pisces, that is the feet, your feet. Now I'm going to have to turn it the other way. So please allow me. Can you see? So the first God. This is Pisces. And this is what Pisces looks like to me. I tried finding images that can work. Pisces is all about belief. And here, when you look back behind here, this is Heru. So you know, Pisces is all about this belief system, the ability to be rooted in belief. In belief. And Pisces was born self-believing. Why are you called a Pisces? You are called a Pisces because you are born self-believing. You are born already believing in yourself, my dear, as a Pisces. That is what Pisces is. If you were born in ancient times, they would have just told you that you're born they would have known. The moment you're born, they know that, this one is born self-believing. The moment they see where you are born, out of the 12 months, Pisces are born self-believing. Pisces are born perfect at sacrificing self in service of those in need. Jesus or that character was definitely a Pisces. The ability to die for others. That is what Pisces is all about. The ability to sacrifice yourself in order for others to see the infinite. That is what a Pisces is all about. Now, Pisces should have perfect feet. That's an angelic Pisces. And by the way, as I'm speaking about this, I'm speaking about angelic Pisces. I'm going to speak about demonic Pisces as well. And I think maybe I should just go as I speak as I go. So angelic Pisces are born self-believing, demonic Pisces are born self-doubting. Angelic Pisces are perfect at self-sacrificing in service of others. Demonic Pisces are very good at throwing others under the bus. Demonic Pisces are very excellent at throwing others under the bus. Now, angelic Pisces have very beautiful feet. The feet, their legs are very... when you see a Pisces and they are angelic, you will love... their legs look better than all parts of their body. Their feet look better than all parts of their body. Now, when you meet a demonic Pisces, their feet look worse than all parts of their body. And most of the time, their feet look very narrow like a stick. Or sometimes it is growing. You find their feet are growing towards a certain direction, or they are growing towards meeting each other, or towards growing apart. That's a Pisces that is demonic. You'll find something is wrong with their feet. Now, an angelic Pisces should have perfect immune system. Pisces is all about immune system. Self-belief. All this is your immune system. Your church, your belief system, your rituals. Those are Pisces energy. Your ability to do rituals, your ability to worship. Those are Pisces energy. Your ability to vouch for yourself that I can do it. Those are Pisces energy. And so an angelic Pisces has a very strong immune system. A demonic Pisces is always sick. A demonic Pisces cannot go 3 months without falling sick, without going to the hospital. Always sick all the time, always sickling, always having a chronic disease that they've had since high school. Those are demonic Pisces. Now, angelic Pisces are born to help the public connect to the infinite, while demonic Pisces are born to disconnect the public from the infinite. Now, an angelic Pisces will help you connect to your rituals, connect to, your worship, your affirmations. An angelic Pisces will help you believe in yourself. A demonic Pisces will move you away. They will laugh at you when you are doing affirmations. That's a demonic Pisces. They will laugh at your belief system. That's a demonic Pisces. They will pull you away from your connection to your ancestors and the infinite. That's a demonic Pisces. Now, an angelic Pisces should always be emotionally active because she's water. So as a Pisces, be emotional as much as you can. Your essence is water. You should always stay in emotions. A Pisces should always be emotional, should always be crying all the time and stuff like that. Now, from Pisces now, Aquarius. This is an Aquarius. Even that picture is a description of an Aquarius. Very old souls. Very old souls. Born self-knowing. An Aquarius is born with Akashic records inside their DNA. Their own Akashic record. An Aquarius is somebody who knows themselves. That's an angelic Aquarius. A demonic Aquarius doesn't ignorant of themselves. A demonic Aquarius is very ignorant of themselves. An angelic Aquarius is self-knowing. Now, an angelic Aquarius is born perfect at reading and impacting creation. As an Aquarius, you're born self-knowing. Once you know yourself, you have the map to know everybody else. You cannot know the world in which you live in without first knowing your own solar system, your own soul. As an Aquarius, once you know your own soul, then now you have a fragment, a fractal that can stay into infinity. You can see everybody else. So Aquarius are born, angelic Aquarius are born perfect at reading people and perfect at impacting creation. Demonic Aquarius is blind. They have eye problems. Cannot read, cannot see, myopic, cannot see anybody. Those are demonic Aquarius. They don't know themselves. It's like they are living in darkness of self. So they don't know themselves. They don't know anyone. They cannot read anyone. Therefore, they cannot impact. They have no impact on creation. Angelic Aquariuses have impact on creation, and especially during the age of Aquarius. As an Aquarius, you must have impact on creation. You knowing yourself. Why do we call it the age of Aquarius? This is the time for you to know yourself so that you can pass that particular self-knowledge on others. An Aquarius that doesn't know themselves is useless to the collective consciousness. Now, an angelic Aquarius should have broad Achilles heel, while a demonic Aquarius has narrow Achilles heel. The Achilles heel of an angelic Aquarius should look circular like this. A demonic Aquarius has an Achilles heel that's almost bending. Now, an angelic Aquarius should be highly intellectual and the quickest span to millennium. Aquarius represent the male reproductive system. The male reproductive system is basically the sperm. What is the sperm known for? Competition, running. Who will be the first one to fertilize the egg? That's what Aquarius is. Aquariuses are born to be the quickest sperm to millennium. In order for them to welcome everybody else to millennium, to show everybody else that, hey, this is the way to millennium. Demonic Aquariuses are the slowest to millennium. Demonic Aquariuses are not even moving to millennium. Some of them are moving away. They're moving towards self-destruction. Now, Aquariuses are born to be the quickest sperm to millennium in order to embody your obligation in the great circle of life as soon as possible. So as an Aquarius, please know that you are the main characters of this particular timeline, especially when you're born in a timeline that people don't know themselves and you are an Aquarius, you become a natural and romantic celebrity. Because now you are born in a timeline where nobody knows themselves, but now you are born knowing yourself. So you become a natural celebrity. So that's why Aquariuses need to step up during this particular point in time where humanity doesn't know much. Because Aquariuses know everything that is supposed to be known about this particular planet. Now they know it in different. I am an Aquarius, I'm very good at this particular thing that I do. And what do I do? This philosophy that I teach, I call it the philosophy of Shiva. Okay? Shiva is Queen Shiva. You call her Queen Shiva now, but she was called Queen Saba. Queen of Saba. Nowadays they call her Queen of Shiva. She was called Queen of Saba. What is Saba? Saba is like the 7 pillars. So me, I am very good at the Queen of Saba philosophy. Now then you'll find another Aquarius is very good at, like let's say physics. You'll find another Aquarius is very good at mechanics. You'll find another Aquarius is very good at numerology, accounting, and stuff like that. So when I tell you you need to embody your own path, as an Aquarius, there's something you are born knowing that nobody else knows. And you need to find what that is. And once you find what that is, you need to start teaching it to the people. And as you teach it to the people, you will find your own people that will come to embody it. Now, an Aquarius should always be gossip active because she's air. So as an Aquarius, you must always be, you must know what's going on, especially in your field of specialty. If you're an Aquarius whose specialty is history, if you're an Aquarius whose specialty is neurology, if you're an Aquarius whose specialty is engineering, you must be actively involved in the gossips of those areas. That is how you survive. A Pisces must always be emotional. That's how you survive. Aquarius must always be active in gossip. That's how you survive. Somebody is asking, I hate that albedos are represented by Aquarius. Yes, they are, and we will tell you why. They are the result. Remember, self-knowledge is the result of self-use. these children of Seth, they know they are a result of somebody using themselves. So one thing I'll tell you is that we start koi-san, koi and the san. That is the feminine and the masculine. Feminine is koi, san is the masculine, divine masculine. Then they give birth to the Bantus. The Bantus move to the equator. And then they give birth to who? The Nilotics. The Nilotics expand throughout the world alongside with the Bantus. They expand as they bring their Bantus. They expand. Right now, Israel is like the Nilotes of the Europeans, of the Albedos. They are the ones that expand and then they bring the Europeans to settle. They expand, they bring the Europeans to settle. So Nilotes are the ones that expanded throughout the entire world to bring the Bantus to settle. Afterwards, some Nilotes made decisions to stop harvesting. And because that was them using themselves to stop harvesting, they misused themselves. Because they misused themselves, they faded. Now, what is that result of the fading? The children of Seth. So you cannot hate them. They are the result of nilotic misbehavior, spiritual misbehavior. Albinism is the result of, if you have albinism inside, even as black people, you still have albinism inside your bloodline. If you have albinism inside your bloodline, know that there are ancestors that hated themselves and they stopped, like not really hating themselves, like they hated the way of life. Now, because I'm explaining this, let me explain, and because we are at Aquarius, let me just speak. Melanin is like ink. It is like writings on the wall. Writings to remind you of how to live life, how to utilize yourself and everything. So there are certain people who they did not like the writings on their wall. Because they did not like the writings on their wall, they faded it off. When you have albinism in your circle or in your DNA, then that is what it means. You have ancestors who reached a point where they did not like the writings on their walls, so they stopped, they scrapped it off. Now, even right now as we live, there are still people who, as we live life, they don't like the writings on their walls. So there's that phenomenon called vitiligo. They keep shedding because they don't like the writings on the wall. Now, you don't liking the writings on the wall. It can be a good thing or a bad thing. Most of them when I teach, sometimes I fail to explain further and some people think I'm judgmental. I don't care about anybody. I care about the teaching. So now listen. In order for you to have vitiligo or albinism, in order for you to shed the writings on the wall, maybe you just don't like the writings on the wall. Maybe you come from ancestors who are thieves and they've perfected in the skill of theft. So much that the writings on the walls that you come with is theft, kleptomania created everything. Now you reach a point where you say, I don't want to be a kleptomaniac anymore. I don't want to be a kleptomaniac anymore, and you stop. This is just an example I'm giving. When you stop being a kleptomaniac and yet you come from ancestors that are thieves, then you start shedding the kleptomania. Start shedding. Now it is not part of you anymore. But now, should the evolution end there? No, I'll tell you. Have the writings on the wall to write. Now I love to grab the writings on the wall. And now they are going to want to write and read. And that is the diversion that we are in up to today. The Nilotic ancestors, because Europeans are proto-Nilotic groups. It is even written in certain history books. As we go on, you will meet it more. Niloids that refused to harvest and deleted the writings on their walls, they are supposed to write again. Write afresh, exactly. They're supposed to write afresh. Now, how do you write afresh? Your skin is now bare. It's like now bare land. The sun is the one that writes on the skin. So now that process of the sun writing on the skin is the process of harvesting Heru, the red one, Heru, the link between two lines, Heru, whatever. You have to harvest Heru until you write the entire word. Now some people, that process is so painful, some people don't want to do it. Most people are not courageous enough, they don't have the confidence to do it. Because guess what, if white people or albedo people want to agree that okay, now we are seeking spiritual ascension, leprosy. And then after that leprosy is when now a new birth comes. New seeds that now have true authenticity. Now these are things that I don't even want to explain further because they are information that I shouldn't be giving. But that is the diversion. We are in the diversion where the white people don't want to harvest the sun. They want to continue terrorizing, stealing from other people, and not having their own. But if they are to make a decision of abandoning the Vatican, abandoning the demonic religion, in order for them to just be natural and start absorbing from the sun, then we will have a moment of leprosy and then a moment of renewal. But that leprosy is a must, and that leprosy is what they don't want. Are we together up to that point? Wanyana, was it Wanyana who has that vision or Ama? Are you now seeing why the children of Seth are called children of Seth? And in our timeline, the children of Seth are negative. It's only in our timeline that they are negative. In certain timeline, the result of Nilotic people utilizing themselves is not something that is negative to the planet. And even in future timelines, we can make it in a way that the Niloites don't end up going backwards. And yet they end up going forward. Instead of deleting and starting to write afresh, they add on top to whatever. But the universe is moving in its own direction. We have no right to question. We can only perceive and then move on from there. Somebody's asking me, what is the link with the soil? The soil below is the same as the cloud above. Clouds are our thoughts. Soil are thoughts of plants. Clouds are our thoughts. So children of human beings come from the clouds, while thoughts of plants are soil. So children of plants come from the soil. Children of plants come from the soil. Children of human beings come from the stars or from earth, growing down. What the cloud is to us is what the soil is to the plants. Are we together? Is your question answered? Soil are thoughts of plants. Yes. Soil are thoughts of plants, and if you study basic biology, you know the mycelia. The mycelia that the plants are communicating down here. The way we are communicating in thought up there, the plants are communicating down here with each other. So soil is the cloud of the plants, while clouds are soil of humans. Humans grow from the cloud. Plants grow from the soil. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Why do we have shades of soil? To represent different levels of fertility. The same way we have different types of clouds. Nimbus clouds are very dark. Same way clay soil is very dark. And then we have sandy soil that does not grow anything. It's the same logic. So different people have different types of clouds. The same way different plants have different types of soil. So there are certain plants that cannot grow in certain areas. There are certain humans that cannot grow among certain thoughts. It's the same logic. The same logic. Can I continue, please? Capricorn. I want you to notice how these gods look, because I want you to see yourself as a Pisces. You should see yourself as a badass as that. What do you mean by different shapes of stars? Yeah, mirroring. That's Aquarius, and then we have Capricorn. Now, Capricorn is born self-useful. useful. So if you're a Capricorn, know that you are born with ancestors that are deep honor. Capricorns are born experts. That is what it means. Capricorns are born, or you're already born experts at multiple things. You can always utilize yourself in different ways. A Capricorn is the one that is born a natural lawyer, a natural singer, a natural teacher, a natural engineer. They are born with different expertise at their disposal. Very useful to themselves. They can never be useless. Now, Capricorns are born perfect at being publicly perceived in a positive way. So if you're a Capricorn, know that the way public perceives you, even if you think you are the most unwantable human being on the planet, as a Capricorn, public perception towards you is always very welcome. You should know that. And you should have flexible and healthy needs. An angelic Capricorn should always have flexible and healthy knees. Demonic Capricorn always have knee issues. Demonic Capricorn are born useless to themselves, while angelic Capricorns are born very useful to themselves. Demonic Capricorn are hated in public. Public have negativity towards them, while angelic Capricorns public are very positive towards them. Now, a Capricorn should be in a good, restful mood due to self-usefulness. So if you are an angelic Capricorn, you should always be in a good mood. Remember, Capricorn is all about the endocrine system, the hormonal system. People who are useful to themselves are always in a good mood. Because by the time your body is holding you accountable, you will be like, I said I would do this, I did it. I said I would buy this, I buy it. I said I would do this, I did it. Like Capricorns all the promises they have to their body, they keep it. Those are angelic Capricorns. While demonic Capricorns, always in a bad mood because somebody misused them somewhere. They were supposed to go for rehearsal. Their mom told them, take care of my child. They were supposed to do this, somebody used them. They were supposed to do somebody used them. Useless to themselves, so they're always in a bad mood. Those are demonic Capricorns. Now Capricorns are born to teach the public how to be useful to themselves today and avoid misuse and fatigue tomorrow. So Capricorns will teach you how to be useful to yourself so that you avoid the bad mood and the fatigue. While demonic Capricorns will have you misuse yourself so that you fall into the bad mood and fatigue. Now Capricorn should always be realistic because she is Earth. So as a Capricorn, reality. As a Capricorn, you must always be realistic, logical. You cannot be like Aquarius who must be gossip active. And you cannot be like Pisces who must be emotional. And as a Capricorn, you must always be logical. Is this useful to me? Am I being useful here? As a Capricorn, you must always ask the question, am I earning or am I learning? That's a mandatory question for a Capricorn. Am I earning or am I learning here? If you are not earning or learning, you have no business being there as a Capricorn. What if there are Capricorns that have, yes, self-use, you've misused yourself so much that, what is anxiety? Anxiety is your fear of betraying yourself. Anxious people are afraid that, oh my God, I'm going to betray myself, not going to stand up for myself when this happens. Where does that come from? Misusing yourself, allowing yourself to be misused so much that you are scared to misuse yourself anymore. That's what anxiety is. Now, if you want to kill anxiety, just say, I will always stand up for myself no matter what. If you want to stand against anxiety, you must always say, no matter what, I will stand up for myself. And you must walk with this mentality. You don't need to trust anyone. You don't need to trust anyone. You just need to trust yourself around everyone. Most of the time when I'm getting into friendships, I always tell my friends, I hope you can trust. I don't need you to trust me because I will not trust you. And I have no business trusting anyone outside of me. The only business I have is trusting that when shit hits the fan, I can leave. When shit hits the fan, I can make decisions for myself.
Right.
When shit hits the fan, I will not abandon myself. If you're somebody who you live by those affirmations, then anxiety will never knock on your door. Give a bombastic side eye to anybody that tells you, trust me. Nobody has business trusting anyone on this planet. You only have to know that you have integrity. You respect your inner authority. You are working with somebody who has integrity. They respect their inner authority. After you answer those questions, then no need to trust. Because all I need to know is when shit hits the fan, you will save you. Because I will save me. That's no guarantee. There's no question about that. This I always tell my friends, even people I get into relationships with. My friend, I don't need you to trust me. I need you to trust that when there's ambush, you will save yourself. Because I trust that I will save mine. If you walk like that, you will never have anxiety on this planet. Anxiety only comes when now you don't know. Hey, if shit hits the fan, am I going to be a doormat? If shit hits the fan, am I going to be the sacrificial lamb? If shit hits the fan, those are the things that make you have anxiety. But as long as you know that, hey, I've gone to this particular place, I have all my flights back home, I have everything out. If shit hits the fan, then I'm good. If you are on other people's mercy, you will have anxiety a lot. Trust other people to save you, you have anxiety a lot. Because you must always be able to stand up for yourself. This thing of trust me, it is an illusion. Nobody has a business trusting anybody on this particular planet. You should only have business trusting you and trusting yourself around anyone. It doesn't matter who that person is. Anybody has capability of betraying anybody. So you should also, if you want to kill anxiety, then be at a position where you know that even if somebody tries this with me, I'm going to stand up for myself. I want to betray. Then you'll say bye to anxiety. Now Sagittarius.
The whole box.
This is what Sagittarius look like. Now I'm going to go back again just to show you. That's Pisces. That's Aquarius, baby. That's Capricorn, the richest. Capricorns are born to be rich. If you're a poor Capricorn, that's a red flag. And then we have Sagittarius, born self-adventurer, born an explorer. Now I want to tell you a particular story here between Capricorn and Sagittarius. Look at the position of Capricorn and Sagittarius. There's something in astrology that you will be told. That during the day, in the year, the zodiac moves from Aquarius all the way to Capricorn. But then during the great year, it moves opposite, meaning from Capricorn all the way back to Aquarius. And that particularly, the description tells the very story of creation. Creation started, as I always say, from the south. From the south with what? With the baboons. And it is out of them being useful to themselves at Capricorn that they were able to birth the adventurer. So being useful to self was what made the Bantus to be able to birth the Nilotes. Nilotes are literally
Yes.
the Sagittarius of the zodiac, the explorer. Mgaga na Upwa. Mgaga is the adventurer on land.
I'm okay, thanks.
Upwa is the adventurer
I do.
on water. So Mgaga na Upwa are Sagittarius.
3364.
Sagittarius are born self-adventurers. They are natural Nilotes. So even if you're a Bantu, and you are born
What do I
Sagittarius,
have?
they know that you are a nylon.
$2 rate.
No, thank you.
Today.
Debit.
You are a natural nylon, even though you are a Bantu. They are born of adventurers, demonic ones are the opposite. Born conservative. Now, Sagittarius are born in a perfect relationship with exploring the wilderness. They are explorers of the wilderness, just like nylon. Sagittarius
Thank
should
you.
have beautiful skin and strong nails. Why? Nails, these are protective things. These are the outer skin that you see. So it should always be at your best interest. So a Sagittarius with skin diseases and nails that look funny, red flag. Now Sagittarius should have beautiful skin and strong nails. They should always have broad variety of visuals of self and the world. So Sagittarius are like the fashionistas also. Nylons are not to be the fashionistas. Same as Sagittarius, like they have different visuals of self. Sagittarius and they make the best stylists. They have different visuals. They can see different visuals of one thing, and especially of themselves. A Sagittarius can dress themselves as different multiple people. Why? Because they are explorers. They've been to Mexico, they know how Mexicans dress. They've been to Australia, they know how Australians dress. They've been to Brazil, they know how Brazilians dress. They've been to America, so by the time they're coming to Africa, they have all these visuals. Different variety to choose from. That's a Sagittarius feeling between the two lands, their past and their future. So what is your job as a Sagittarius on this particular dimension? You are born to help the public. For example, this is what linking between the two lands is Jupiter energy. Jupiter is stepped in Sagittarius. So Sagittarius are going to help people expand. How? I can be Sweden, I come from a village in Turkana. I am very tall. I like this example so much because it's straight to the point. I come from Turkana, I'm very tall. I've never seen New York Fashion Week. I've never seen any fashion runway show. I don't know anything. And then there's a Sagittarius that has already seen all this because they are travelers. Now they'll come to Turkana and tell me, hey, my dear, with this height of yours, I've seen some Aduta catch out there making it. And they look exactly like you. So they link you between the two lands. The Sagittarius, they're here to link the public between their two lands. They should explore an adventure and then tell everybody what perfectly suits them. That is the job of Sagittarius. They know what everyone, and a Capricorn knows how people can be useful to themselves. A Capricorn will help you be useful to yourself. For example, they'll help you know how to monetize your talent. Now, a Sagittarius will show you even that talent before you even see it about yourself. A Sagittarius will take you to the future, will link you to your future. That's what a Sagittarius is supposed to do, to link you to your future. Sagittarius is in the house, are we together? And then a Sagittarius should always be interactive because she's fire. So Sagittarius, you cannot be an introvert. It is impossible for a Sagittarius to be an introvert. You are an alchemist. Everybody you interact with, you must change them. For example, like I told you, I'm Turkana. I'm feeling kind of from Turkana. I'm very tall. I've never seen runway fashion. I don't know about New York. I don't know anything about fashion. But then it is a Sagittarius that will come and link me to that because they've seen different varieties, so they know where everybody can fit in. So as a Sagittarius, if you're already not doing that job, kindly start doing it confidently. That's where probably your essence is and your soul path is. That's where your money is, generally your essence, your life. It is inside you, linking people with their futures. Linking people with their futures. Linking people with their futures. Now you should always be interactive because you're fire. You don't do well as introverts. People are your thing. You are not like a Pisces. A Pisces can do well as an introvert. A Sagittarius cannot. So if you are an introvert and you are a Sagittarius, you are demonic. need to start being outside there more. Somebody is asking, how do we recharge? What do you mean? How do who recharge? Sagittarius? Ama who? What do you mean by we? Can one embody more than one horoscope? Wanyana, that is how you are telling. That is like you asking me. Can one be born in more than 1 month? Is it possible to give birth to a child in more than, like, you give birth to them in January and then you give birth to them again in December and it's the same person? You know, you're wearing somebody, your destiny swapping. If you find yourself, you are embodying too, there's destiny swap that is happening to you. Because there are people who are born Sagittarius, and because their neighbor is an Aquarius, they also want to be an Aquarius. There are people who are born Pisces, but because their ex is dating a Leo, now they want to be a Leo too. Destiny swapping, remember? Swap about changing your 12 houses to look like somebody else's. Changing your entire 12 houses to look like somebody else's. That's what destiny swapping is, and you can only embody 2 horoscopes if you are destiny swapping. Oh, somebody's saying, how do we? You know, as a Sagittarius, when the more you alchemize, the more you recharge. As an Aquarius, the more you teach, the more you spread that knowledge, then the more you recharge. As a Pisces, the more self-belief, ritualizing, the more you recharge. When you sit in your essence, it's like ukongaman. Now, what do I mean by that? Mwendatezi na homo marenjeo ni ngamani. Meaning, you can center other people. But then for you to find true rest and true peace, you must center yourself. And what is you centering yourself? When you're Aquarius, be an Aquarius. That is you centering yourself. When you're a Sagittarius, be a Sagittarius. That is you centering yourself. When you center yourself, you are at peace. Ni kama kukua ngamani, like being at your center, where it is peaceful. For you to reject ngamani, then it means there is not so much wind. Ngamani is the boat thing. You know, when you return back to the middle, that Moana boat, when it returns to the middle, it means there's not so much wind going around. So for you to center yourself, you must sit in your essence. And you shouldn't be getting tired or worn out when you sit in your essence. I was born in June, but somehow assigned September. So, like, logically speaking, we just say that you are given a wrong birthday. So just go to your birthday. And guys, if you don't know your birthday, then you must know yourself now very well. If you are born by a mother who forgot your birthday, or your mother is not alive to remind you of your birthday, you can still know who you are without all these references, but it will take you more work. Because now you must be with yourself fully 100% to know who you truly are. If you are a Leo, it will show up. If you are a Cancer, it will show up. If you are an Aquarius, it will show up on its own when you know yourself. Because you are who you are even when there is no documentation about it. Until then, I met a guy who was born in August, but was assigned in July. It doesn't matter what you are assigned. Where you were born is where you were born. I don't know why you are asking that question, because when you apply logic, just apply Capricorn energy, you're going to get an answer. Just because you were born in January and then somebody said, oh, this one was born in June, doesn't change the fact that you were born in January. Logic. Those are the places you apply logic. Now let me continue again. Scorpio, baby. Oh shoot, this Scorpio they will remove me for. So let me just put it like that. Before they remove me. Before they remove doing that, so TikTok is sensitive. So Scorpios are born attractive. I don't know whether you think you are the ugliest Scorpio on the world. Whatever you look like as a Scorpio, that is what your bloodline wanted to look like. That is what your bloodline intended to look like as a Scorpio. As a Scorpio, you are born naturally attractive. Right now, they call it European beauty standard. European beauty standard. It's supposed to be Scorpio beauty standard. Scorpio should be the beauty standard. Because Scorpios are the natural beauty standards of the zodiac. So Scorpios are born in Milele. They are born in their avatar that they're supposed to be embodying. That is what a Scorpio is. Lady Vikings, today you are asking out of pocket questions, because today I cannot even, every time I read your question, I don't know whether it is speaking about what we're talking about or it is speaking about something else. You know? So now, a demonic Scorpio is born ugly. Honor. When you look at a Scorpio that is angelic, you will know that this is what people should be looking like. This is what women should be looking. Scorpios are born naturally attractive, and so when they are angelic, they maintain that. When they are demonic, they live on the opposite side of the spectrum. They become the ugliest thing you've ever seen on the planet. So a Scorpio that is angelic becomes the beauty standard. A Scorpio that is demonic becomes the ugly standard. As a Scorpio, be very careful. Because you will either be the beauty standard or the ugly standard. There is no in between with a Scorpio. Now, one, perfect when it comes to attracting valuable mates. Scorpios are born perfect when it comes to attracting valuable mates. Scorpio is like literally a vagina looking at you. When they are boys, it's like a phallus looking at you. They are born very attractive. You look at a Scorpio's face, you are seeing a vagina, especially if you are attracted to vaginas. You see a Scorpio, you are thinking about vagina already. You see a Scorpio man and you are heterosexual, you are already seeing a dick. Now they should have healthy and conspicuous private parts. A Scorpio that is angelic will have private parts that you will look at twice. Even when you are walking with your girlfriend like this, a Scorpio passes by, you will turn and you will look. That is what a Scorpio is all about. While a demonic Scorpio, they are the ones that have gonorrhea. They have private parts that you will not want to look at twice. They are the ones that have syphilis. They are the ones that have private parts that have bacteria and viruses and worms coming out of. That's a demonic Scorpio. So a demonic Scorpio has private parts that you will not want to look at twice. An angelic Scorpio has private parts that you will, even if you don't want to look at twice, you will turn and look. Now, Scorpios should always have multiple people, multiple spans wanting access. A Scorpio is like literally a flower walking around. Please, if you are a Scorpio and you are not embodying this character, start today. Maybe you just don't embody them because you don't know yourself, but now I'm telling you, that is how you are. We live in a world where people are so demonic. Nobody will tell you your virtues. Nobody will tell you your good qualities. And this is the reason why teachers like me, we have to teach it. Because some people, they live in the dark. They don't know this about themselves. And when you don't know, you cannot have it. At all. Now, a Scorpio is born to teach the world how to embody their sexuality and look their essence. A Scorpio that is a man will teach you how to embody male and look like a man. A Scorpio that is a woman will teach you how to embody woman and look like a woman. Now a demonic Scorpio will be male that looks, that wants, that transitions to female. Let me just call it what it is, because we have that in our reality right now. A demonic Scorpio will be a male, but transitions. They cut off their dick to become a vagina. A demonic Scorpio woman will be a woman, but totally doesn't look woman. doesn't want to be woman, is running away from anything female, and is going into male. Now, there's a difference. You can be a Scorpio that is born looking like masculine, androgynous or looking masculine. There are women that look masculine. So if you're a Scorpio that was born naturally looking masculine, then that is, you should embody that as a woman. You should be masculine and woman. And if you're a Scorpio that was a man, but you're born looking like a woman, then you should be a man looking like a woman. You shouldn't be like, oh, now I abandoned now the vagina, now I'm going for the... I hope you comprehend what I'm talking about. Now, Scorpio should always be emotionally active because they are water. Scorpio is water and should always be emotionally active. Always be in your emotions as a Scorpio. Before I'm removed here, girl, you know. So now the next we have Libra, born balanced. Libra are born naturally knowing how to distribute energy, how to teach what belongs to who. Libras are natural lawyers, not even lawyers, judges. They are natural judges. They know who deserves what. Libras are born naturally knowing who deserves what. Who deserves their manifestation to come and who deserves their manifestation not to come. Now that is Libra. Libra are born with an ability to command the world outside of them. They are judges. When a Libra tells you your product is mediocre, when a Libra goes to a restaurant and writes a bad review, that review will go. It will attract a lot of people. It will sabotage your business. When a Libra comes and writes a good review, it will grow your business. It will help your business. So Libras are judges in the collective consciousness. They're the ones that know the sinners and the righteous. They know how to distribute that particular energy. They know what everybody deserves. So now, Libra should have big nyash and healthy urinary system. So let me just talk about this big nyash because it will offend a lot of people. But some people might think that we're just saying it because we are hating. I don't care about the type of nyash you decide to have for yourself, as long as you know what is behind. Now Libra are the one, when you look at this particular picture, it is describing Libra a lot. Libra are the ones that, this is the water, the lake. These are fishermen. Before the fisherman's catch reaches the without Libra saying it, make it to the shore, it cannot make it to the shore. Now gives Libra the ability to easily have this particular power. Nyash. The bigger the door, the easier they come out. The bigger the door, the easier. Yes. So it is the same way your hips will determine whether you have a CS or you give birth naturally. It's the same way Libra is the one that will determine whether your manifestation crosses over or not. So they have that power naturally. So it is from this energy that you find most of the time in society, even if we don't want to admit it. Women with bigger nyash naturally get their way. Naturally when they speak, especially, let's not talk online, because online you cannot see people's nyash. Offline. Women with nyash are the ones to say. I don't know what I'm going to say. They are the ones to say, and when they say, nobody dares, whether be it men or other women. The only people that can go against them confidently are other women with nyash too. So that particular nyash is respect. In spiritual realm, nyash is like communicating like, hey, by the way, I easily manifest. I easily manifest. I easily manifest. Now, some people might ask at this area, what about people that give birth through CS? If you're somebody who you've never given birth through CS, this is the I have this product I'm selling. Now, I want to put it into the market. I want to launch it into the market. But before I launch it into the market, I let it go through scrutiny, through public scrutiny, and they scrutinize the product. And they debate about it, and eventually my product makes it into the market. Naturally, after they've scrutinized it. That's natural birth. Now, cesarean birth, I have a product. I want to put it to the market. But I'm scared of the scrutiny. I don't have the confidence to go through scrutiny. So I skip the scrutiny part. And so I put my product into the market without scrutiny. That is what cesarean is. It has its disadvantages and advantages. The advantages, you will not deal with the crocodiles. Your product will make it into the market. The disadvantage is when you give birth to a child through CS, these are the children that will be very easily prone to suicide, to bullying, because they miss the sobek, the scrutiny. Your hips, you being able to push a child through your vagina. The vagina has a scrutiny docket. And people who have taught on OnlyFans, they know this. When a penis enters the vagina, it is scrutinized. When a child is leaving the vagina, it is scrutinized before it gets out. So now you avoid that particular scrutiny. You avoid it in the vagina, the child is going to meet it in real life. In real life, they will be scrutinized. Somebody is saying in real life, what is the scrutiny? There's classmates, them dealing with people, them dealing with energy, their classmates saying things about them. Remember, when a child does not experience passing through a vagina, then when they're outside, vagina is like this self-desire. It's like that self-desire. When they're outside, if they do not pass through the vagina, then other children will subject them to pass through the vagina. And some of them might not take it. Just the same way you couldn't take it, some of them might not take it and analyze themselves or feel unworthy or isolate or whatever. Yeah, somebody says it makes sense. I hope it does. So it can never be avoided. So just know, be aware of such kind of things so that when your child starts experiencing episodes, then you are there for them spiritually, knowing exactly why they are passing through what they are passing through. If they did not pass through sobek in the vagina, they will pass through sobek in reality, in real life. Their friends, whatever, they will subject them through that, through the word of mouth. Virgo. Virgo are born analysts. They're born connected to all. See the way that picture is? Virgos are born connected. That's navel, your umbilical cord. The way it was connected to the placenta on the inside, it stays connected to the placenta on the outside, especially as a Virgo now it is stronger. As a Virgo, your navel, where the umbilical cord was cut, where the placenta was cut, it is stronger. It is more sensitive than other people. So it connects you to all naturally. So as a Virgo, you don't need, as an angelic Virgo, you already have access to everyone. If you are angelic, you will understand everyone as a Virgo. If you are demonic, you will misunderstand everyone as a Virgo. Now, Virgo should have healthy stomach and healthy digestive system. A Virgo is born to serve self, preserve self, and protect self by doing no evil and accepting no evil. So as a Virgo, you are like the representation of Ubuntu. You are connected to all. So when you hurt yourself, you are hurting all. You preserve yourself, you are preserving all. So an angelic Virgo is born to self-preserve, self-serve, and self-protect. Because by you just doing that behind closed doors, Virgo, you are doing it for the entire planet. Now a demonic Virgo is born to self-harm and self-sabotage, even self-delete. And when they do that, they are doing it to the collective consciousness. So as an angelic Virgo, please self-serve, be selfish with yourself. Virgo is like you are a dot of the entire universe represented in one. And so as you preserve yourself, you are preserving the universe. As a Virgo, you don't even need to be philanthropic or give people money or help people on the outside. Just you self-preserving, protecting yourself and making sure you flourish. You are a piece of the universe. You're connected to all, the same way the universe is connected to all. When you do that, you are doing the work for the entire planet. So for example, right now, we have war in the world. Somebody like a Virgo should totally stay away from war, should totally keep themselves from war, and should totally pray that they stay from war. And as Virgos of the world stay away from war, then the entire planet drifts away from war. But as individual Virgos drift towards, what is happening with an individual Virgo will happen with the collective. I hope you are comprehending. Because Virgo is connected to all. The 5 daily transitions of Heru that serve self. So the position of Virgo is the Lamba region, of which I'm not going to show you here today. But you know the Lamba region, you know the neck has 7 bones, followed by 12 bones, and then 5 bones of Virgo. So that 5 bones of Virgo help to connect Virgo to the 5 days of self-service. We have 2 days for the sun and the moon, Monday and Tuesday. Those are, you serve the sun on Monday, you serve the moon on Tuesday. On Monday, you serve the sun on Sunday, you serve the moon on Monday. Now, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, those are 5 days of self-service. And those are the days that are directly connected to Virgo. So as a Virgo, you should be very alive during the self-service days. Now, should always be realistic because she is Earth. So Virgo, Capricorn, behavior is the same. A Virgo should always stay realistic. Virgo, if you know that somebody is not good for you, stay away from them. Self-protect with a lot of reality, with a lot of logic. Because you're connected to all. Whatever you feel is harmful to you and the planet at large. Whatever you feel is good for you and the planet at large. So you must always stay realistic about such your connection. Would it not contradict? What is it? Would it not contradict the work needed after self-analyzing? Would what not contradict? And then wouldn't self-preservation make everything? How? Virgo is all about, I am doing no evil and I'm accepting no evil. That is what self-analysis is all about. When food gets into your stomach, what is the question that is being asked to the food? Are you good for her or are you bad for her? If you're food that is bad for her, annas outside. If you're food that is good for her, into the bloodstream and nutrients to other cells. So Virgo is constantly asking, is this good for me or is this bad for me? Am I doing evil or am I accepting it? So please paraphrase your question again and ask it, because I don't get what you're talking about. Yes, Virgo should self-serve. I do no evil, I take no evil. That's self-service. Virgo should self-preserve. Because a Virgo is connected to all. A Virgo is the universe representing itself in a singular form. So when they preserve that singular form, they are preserving the entire universe. As Virgo is supposed to self-protect, accept no evil. Paraphrase your question again because I don't get what you're asking as I proceed. Now Leo, born self-loving and self-expressing. And self-expressing. Even in the last class. When you look at the picture that I've used to describe Leo, it's just a picture of a girl sitting with her third eye open, and enjoying flowers around, creation around. I don't know what Wanjiku was asking. I hope she finds a way to paraphrase her question. Because now she's asking, would it not contradict the work needed after self-analyzing? What is the work needed after self-analyzing? What is the work needed after self-analyzing? Please, Wanjiku, write that down. Wouldn't self-preservation make the energy? Which energy stagnate? If you want me to answer you, paraphrase your question properly because I don't get what you're asking. Mimi sasa sikuelewi. Distribution of energy sasa inafitwa wapi apati? Would it not contradict? Sasa she would say, would the distribution of energy not contradict the work needed after self-analysis? Wouldn't it say? Sikuelewi dada, pengine hata uandike na Kiswahili. So now Leo, last time when I was teaching you about the respiratory system, I told you that plants, they give oxygen. Oxygen is self-love. In Cancer, we harvest. What are we harvesting? Leo, self-love. So a Leo and plants should never be separated. If you are a Leo and you want to have an easy time on the planet, plants are your best friends, first of all. Now, Leos are born self-loving and self-expressing. Born in deep relationship with creation. Leos are born loving, self, and all around. Now, demonic Leos are born hating self and everything around them. Leos are born in deep relationship with the creation. Leos are literally born like the caretakers. They are like the shepherds of Ubuntu. They're just loving the birds, they're loving the trees, they're loving the ocean, they're loving the topography of the planet, they're loving other people's faces. They're just loving everything that the planet has to offer, plus themselves. Leos are just here to love everything that the planet has to offer, plus themselves. They are here to see beauty in everything. Now, Leos should have a healthy heart, blood, and the circulatory system. So Leos are going to have a healthy circulatory system, and it is the plants that will help you have a healthy circulatory system and a healthy heart. Demonic Leos have blood problems, heart problems, circulatory system problems. Now, Leos are born to teach the world how to embody self-expression and self-love. So, by the one just watching how Leos are living their lives, they should be inspired to also love themselves. Leos are those women who you see, the art, how do you call it? You see how Leos should be? Those art girl. Is it art aesthetic? Art girl aesthetic? I think it's art girl aesthetic. That is the vibe of a Leo. But we live in a world which has demonized love, true love. True love is the love of greenery. True love is the love of planet, wearing crystals, using what is available on the planet to just being grateful about everything that exists. Leos are here to appreciate creation, and they are also a creation. So they are here to appreciate creation from themselves. Leos really love what they look like. If you are somebody who you are coming to tell Leo that, hey, trying to make them hate themselves, you are wasting your time unless you're working with a demonic. Yes. Leos love what they look like. They love their aesthetics. Now they just need to make the world love the same. Because as a Leo, if you love article aesthetics, then you need to influence. Just show yourself as loving that, and then other people, your tribe will do the same. So Leo are born to teach the love of all that is created. And as a Leo, you should always be interactive because you are fire. You are an alchemist. So Sagittarius is interacting. Sagittarius alchemize people into their future. Leo is interactive as well. Leo alchemize people into loving themselves and creations around them. Loving and appreciating themselves and creation. So as a Leo, once you interact with someone, you should always leave them loving the universe more and loving themselves more. If you don't, there's nothing you've done. Okay? As a Sagittarius, you should always leave people yearning for the future to meet their future self. If you don't, there's nothing you've done. As an Aquarius, you should always leave people knowing themselves. If you don't, there's nothing you've done. As a Pisces, you should always leave people believing in themselves. If you don't, nothing you've done. As a Libra, always leave people balanced. If you don't, then you've done nothing. Yes! Even the jealous ones, in fact, the jealous ones now are the ones who want self-love the most. There's a difference between jealousy and envy. You cannot control jealousy. Guys, you cannot control jealousy. As long as you're doing your work, people will be jealous of you. So as a Leo, you should give a blind eye to jealousy. You should even pretend that you don't see jealousy as a Leo. As a Leo, you should pretend you don't even see jealousy, because we live in a world so demonic. People are jealous of people who love themselves. And Leos are at the front line of that jealousy. So please, as a Leo, look at jealousy like normal, because you will trigger that in people a lot. Cancer. Now, look at this image of Cancer. Cancer is like newt. Cancer is like, they are the ones who are in charge of growth down here. Rain come up to make things grow. The same way emotions of Cancer are what make things grow. Cancers literally make things grow. So Cancers make the best tarot readers, they make the best spiritual workers, because they are the ones that make your emotions as a Cancer is like newt, it's like the sky, it's like weather. As a Cancer, your emotions are like weather. Now Cancer, you are born in an intimate relationship with Solace. You are born present with the infinite, and you should have healthy chest, breasts, and lungs. Very healthy love-hate exchange. That is, a Cancer should have very healthy love-hate exchange. Like, you should be somebody who you bring in a lot of love in order for hate to be removed. Bring in a lot of love in order for hate to be removed. Now, born to teach the world how to harvest abundance and love. Harvest starts with Cancer. And harvest starts from emotions. Even crops, they grow up at night. What is at night? Alone. Every time you hear dark at night, alone. That's what it means. So inside alone is when things grow. So Cancers are born to teach the world how to harvest abundance and love. Cancer's emotions are like rain. They help others grow. And then they're born to teach the world how to see inside self and trust intuition. So as a Cancer, you have a beautiful relationship with yourself, with infinite forces, and you teach other people to also have a beautiful relationship with themselves and infinite forces. Now you should always be emotional and stand in your emotions, because you're water. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, water, emotional always. Up to there, are we together? As a Cancer, when you interact with someone and you leave them not having a good relationship with their alone time, not having a beautiful relationship with them being alone, then you've not done your job. You should always help people have a beautiful relationship with solace, with being alone as a Cancer. Gemini. This is what Gemini looks like. Your thoughts. Gemini, your powers are in your hands. Born an independent thinker. Born with special thinking, communication, and decision-making skills. That's what a Gemini is. Should have healthy arms and muscles. A Gemini that has muscles that are weak and arms that have issues, that's a demonic Gemini. Geminis are born to help the world generate, recall, and store information. So Geminis are machines of revival. Born to show the world how to embody independence. That's why Gemini and Sagittarius, they go hand in hand. It is Gemini that empowers Sagittarius energy. And it is that Sagittarius energy that builds independence. So now, Gemini should always be gossip active, just like Aquarius. Libra should also always be gossip active. I think. I've done Libra, I think.
Here or?
Yeah, Libra should also always be gossip active because she's here. And Gemini should also always be gossip active. Because for you to think for yourself, you need to be in touch with a lot of gossip. For you to balance yourself. Born with high self-worth and self-value. Now look at Taurus' picture. A woman is watering herself.
Come.
Taurus are born self-supportive. Now there's Taurus, which is born self-supportive, and then there's Capricorn, which is born self-useful. These two might confuse you.
She's doing Taurus.
Capricorn is born self-useful, meaning they're born with a lot of expertise and skills to put into practice. Taurus is born self-supportive, meaning they're born with no skill, no expertise, but they spend their time developing them.
Mm-hmm.
So Taurus is born to become a Capricorn. And they support themselves into becoming that Capricorn. Born with high self-worth and self-value. Born naturally self-supportive and always vocal about their principles. Taurus are born to have healthy voices, necks, and bones. A Taurus should have a very healthy voice, a very healthy neck, and very healthy bones, the skeletal system. Tauruses are born to teach the world how to embody the 7-day planets and show up daily for self. That's all they do. Tauruses are born to show you how to live in luxury.
Oh,
Because when you
period.
show up every day, 7 days a week, what are you doing? It's luxury that you are accumulating. And also I want you to remember that Venus is safe in Taurus. Leos, listen. Leos, listen. Venus is safe in Taurus. Self-love. Supporting yourself gives you a lot of, adds to your self-love so much. And Tauruses are born to live as an example in abundance for the world to emulate the results of self-support. So Tauruses are born to, you will see a lot of Tauruses living in luxurious lifestyles.
Boom.
You should not be jealous. They are just living, they were born to live like that to show you that if you work hard, you will get the same. That's all.
That's me.
So allow Tauruses to live in wealth, because that's the only way they embody their self-essence. A demonic Taurus's destiny is poverty. An angelic Taurus's destiny is luxury. Finally, we have the queen of the throne.
That's literally
The
you.
ruler.
It's literally how you
The one
come
who
into
sits
the
in
world.
heaven
Like, you were little
and
you
controls
would
everyone.
be like
That's
making
Aries.
yourself busy, doing
Born
everything,
truthful.
harnessing the day.
I don't know whether Flavia is still here.
Learning this,
An Aries,
learning
as an
that.
Aries, you are born truthful.
That's why
You are not a liar by nature as an Aries.
That's how we know.
There's no lie in the vessel of an Aries.
Money.
What does that mean?
You
As an
harness
Aries,
the
your
day,
body
you
is
use the
telling
day
you
and
the
time to
truth
see if
always.
from yourself.
Your body doesn't know how
When
to
you don't
lie.
study your math, when you don't study your stuff.
So now the relationship
you're
you
not
decide to have with your
guaranteed.
body is the one that will determine whether you live in peace or in fracas.
Harvesting the day and
Because as an Aries, you're born
that is
truthful.
where you end
You're born
up with
having
zero
a
dollars
truthful
and zero
relationship
wealth.
with yourself
Your wealth
within.
is in harvesting
Your
the
body
day.
is the truth.
So
Your body is
are
like
getting away from yourself
David,
now.
beloved.
You see, since you've been getting back on track with gymnastics,
I told you, beloved, David is called beloved because he lived at a point where it is a generation that lived at a point where the central nervous system was the truth. Now, Aries are born with a central nervous system that is the truth. Their hypothalamus maintains a state of homeostasis by default. They are born with that gift. You might be a Gemini, you are born with a crooked central nervous system. You might be an Aquarius, you're born with a crooked central nervous system. Now, an Aries can never be born with a crooked central nervous system. So they have a healthy head and a healthy central nervous system. That's an angelic Aries. If you are an Aries and you are always have nervous, your head is always having issues, maybe you need to go back to the drawing board. Because that shows that you are not listening to your body. Your body knows the truth. Your body is the truth. As an Aries, you can walk blindfolded, just listening to your body, and you'll never die. Because your body is born truthful. That's your gift. You're the marking scheme to Milele. You're the marking scheme to how Milele should be reached. Because your central nervous system is working every day the way it should. Now your biggest mistake as an Aries would be to be fake. Oh, if you're an Aries and you dare to be fake, you are doing a lot of disservice to yourself. You should always be yourself as an Aries. Now you're going to teach the world how to plant new traits about self by listening to the body and doing as the body says. So as an Aries, because your body, your central nervous system is accurate. You came from the ancestral realms with a central nervous system that is accurate. So then your job is to help the world to accurate their own central nervous system by teaching the world how to plant new traits about themselves by listening to their body. So the more you listen to your body as an Aries, the more you harvest. And the more you should teach others how to do the same as an Aries. As I've told you here, as you see in the image, Aries, telepathy, natural telepathy. Authenticity is telepathy. Authenticity is telepathy. Aries are natural telepaths. Because Aries are born authentic. They are born naturally in a communicative state with the entire collective consciousness. So, as an Aries, when you are an Aries, know that you are a natural telepath. Telepathy is naturally in you. Clairvoyance is naturally in you. Psychometry is naturally in you. Like, you can tell, you can read people's minds beyond. You're a mind reader. You can hear people's thoughts. And you can communicate through people telepathically. Aries, are you listening to me? Please, if you're not doing it already, get into your role. Born to live in magic. Aries, you're born to live in magic. Aries, you're born to live a supernatural lifestyle. Aries, you're born to live the impossible, to show people the miracles that are possible. Now you should always be interactive because you're fire. You are an alchemist. So an Aries, your interaction with other people should always bring about alchemy. You should always transmute other people, transform other people. So here are our last chamber. I've divided them into three. We have the water. In the waters we have Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And they should always focus on creating from infinity and prioritizing solace. If you're a Cancer, if you're a Scorpio, if you're a Pisces, you should always create from the beyond. You should create a lot when you're alone and prioritize solace. If you are air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, you should create from gossip. You should always create from gossip and research. Gossip is research still. Should always create from gossip and research. And you should always prioritize journalism. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Always create from being real.
Yeah, don't breathe
and use of common sense. Taurus, use your common sense. Virgo, use your common sense. Capricorn, use of common sense. And you should always prioritize grounding and presence. Should always prioritize being grounded and being present. That's Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. You cannot afford to sleep on the job. Now, finally, the fire signs, which is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. You create from alchemy and transformation. You should always prioritize interacting and connecting with others.
Such a good.
Has everybody seen themselves?
Danica and that?
Yeah.
I think those are the people I was following.
In case these ones are in
Facebook, and they said, oh, good job and congratulations to everybody who completed. And then
Yeah, so that's what I have for you today. I wanted to introduce you to the Dendera, which I know I'll have to come back with again,
or if they didn't post,
which is okay.
I'm not entirely sure.
I know I'll have to come back with it again, which is fine. Maybe next time I'll explain it in ways that will be more comprehensible. How can we correct a child that didn't go through Sobek energy from being bullied? Now, Honor, just be realistic. My people perish due to lack of knowledge. My people perish due to lack of knowledge. On this particular world, we have a relationship with gravitational pull and we have a relationship with magnetism. So when you birth a child through cesarean and they did not go through the Sobek energy, then you have to pass the child through Sobek energy by yourself. As a mother, you have to make sure you expose the child to reality of the world. What are some of the things that they are being bullied for? For a child to be bullied, there's something about the 12 houses that is being bullied. Find it and strengthen it for them. Because children who get bullied are just children who cannot stand up for themselves. They cannot speak up for themselves. Why? Because they don't know the advantages of the things that they possess. So why is he being bullied? Maybe he's being bullied because the head is very big. Authenticity. Start teaching your children the truth about the 12 houses. The shapes of the 12 houses, what they mean. So that they are not, like, for example, a child born in America will be bullied because they are dark skinned. Teach the child about melanin. Teach the child the uses of the values of melanin. And also sometimes just try getting that child away from environments that are not suiting that child. Take them to environments that are better. Because at the end of the day, they will be strengthened there, and if they cannot stand it, they will start self-hating. Those bullying are baiting them to abandon their soul path. Now, if you don't want a child to abandon their soul path, then you have to show up now for them in a special way. To feed them heru, to give them a lot of self-confidence, self-belief, so that they don't fall prey for bullying. Bullying is just bait. Hey, I'm baiting you to abandon yourself. Hey, I'm baiting you to abandon your soul path. Now, why would they bait you to abandon your soul path? Because they've seen that there's a part of you that you are connected to in a weak way. There's a weak link. Now, that weak link is what you go and strengthen and tie it, so that the child is not bullied. Give your child more self-esteem if you give back to them through cesarean, please. Put them through Sobek by yourself, so that they don't have to be put through Sobek outside of you. I hope that makes sense to somebody and you're going to utilize it for your own good.
Not the dark one. Which in fact, whatever.
Not just child even as grown. Yes, true. I keep true.
And salt.
True. You know, children who are prone to bullying, they just need to be taught how to not self-abandon. That's all. And as an adult, don't self-abandon. Babe, listen. As an adult, you know, for you not to be bullied, kill self-abandonment. Every time you don't self-abandon, you don't honor. listen to how these things work. Because spiritual things sometimes, you might see me, somebody like Surinyarkano. Me, you cannot bully me. Me, I'm beyond bullying. But then, you might think that, oh, they're so difficult to bully because they have experience. No. Guys, your body is always watching you. Your body is always watching you. Anytime somebody tempts you into self-abandonment, and and you remember fertilization happens in the fallopian tube. And because I'm done with this class, let me just do this for the last time to show you where fertilization occurs, so that you don't fall victim. And I'm going to show you a woman's reproductive system, which is this.
And I know that's probably impossible the way life is or whatever.
On the arms, this is still the same 12 houses. It's just that some of them are infused, some of them are in Trinity. But fertilization happens at the thoughts.
It should be like,
Guys, if I kill you in your thoughts, consider yourself dead in real life.
if you do that, I promise you,
Guys,
you will have
if inside your thoughts, you are already defeated, consider yourself defeated in real life. So how do you avoid this bullying or being defeated? Make sure you are very difficult to defeat in your thoughts. Don't allow yourself to be defeated in your thoughts. Before anybody has an accident in the road, they already had an accident here. Fertilization does not happen anywhere else. Like when you study this, do you think fertilization happens anywhere else? Anywhere else other than here? Fertilization does not happen anywhere else. It happens in the hands. Inside your thoughts. I fuck you up in your thoughts, I've fucked you up in real life. You have an accident in your thoughts, you've had an accident in real life. Don't even wait. Just know, it has already happened. I bully you inside your thoughts, I've already bullied you in real life. I've defeated you inside your thoughts, I've already defeated you in real life. Don't even show up to the battle. Is somebody getting me? Is somebody getting? This is where you get the job. This is where you get the promotion. This is where you win. This is where the manifestation happens. This is where the accident happens. This is where the death happens. Nothing happens in the physical before it happens in the spiritual. Means nothing will happen to you in the physical dimension before it happens inside your thoughts. So imagine how confident you can be when you are in charge of your thoughts. Imagine the level of confidence. You know very well that if I don't die in my thoughts, I will never die. You know very well if I don't get defeated in my thoughts, I'll never get defeated. You know very well if I win in my thoughts, I've already won. You know very well if I lose in my thoughts, I've already lost. Then how do you walk now? That's how you avoid bullying. Otherwise, guys, merci beaucoup for coming here. And I'm going to be seeing you again on Sunday for Zabur. That was my introduction to Dendera. More is coming. See you next time. I love you. Bye. Yes, I love you, Sarah. Sarah, yeah. I love you guys too. Uchena, bye. Flavi, nakupenda sana. Flavi.
I'm telling you, bro. Favorite type of ace in the Mushrooms are aesthetically good.
Mushrooms are good.
Cactus flowers. Especially since I'm glowing night brows and whites.
Did you see them when they talked to each other? They actually made the noise.
All I have to say is like, hey, see the mushroom there? She's hot.
No, it sings. The way they talk to
Sings?
each other,
What's that?
it's magical. But then, yeah,
Mushroom is singing?
yeah. See if that's what comes up.
What?
Yes, like that.
Who's the beat?
Okay, yeah. You have to find them in the deep forest where they sing. There was one where there was lit up, and you can see the spores coming out of it, and it was singing though. And then I'm still trying to focus on that first. Because we gotta leave soon, because class is really today.
What the time? 5:30? That's so early.
But you said you're 8 minutes late.
Yeah, but it should be that early either. It should be 6:30 like it was before. Maybe if I switch down the internet. Wait, we have the things next week. There. I just thought I did for mushrooms.
You see another shallots?
What?
Another shallots in the recipe?
Oh, two.
And how did she say to